seek help, and the only way through is to use a lens that makes it clear to me and you. If let's see eye to eye, then the prescription was filled. But if not today, then we can reschedule appointment to understanding free will. Is your God the truth or just your truth? Do you hear it in
Hey y'all, welcome back. This is Your God the Truth podcast. We got two panelists today, just expressing some like spiritual thoughts and some free thinking. We're going to use them to probe their minds and see if they can give us a little bit more information. And on this pod, our whole goal is to help bring some people together, see if we can, add some dots to some I's, cross some T's, and allow people to think for themselves and let the audience judge on what's the truth or not. So I'll have our guests introduce themselves. So our old famous Atwood, you could always go first.
Hi, my name is Atwood. I started off in the church, grew up in a church. I've been on a missionary trip. The older that I've gotten, the wiser that I've gotten, the more I've awakened to certain things and certain things happen in my life. I've gone down more of a spiritual path, and I don't believe that you need religion to get to God.
Sweet, Atwood. Thank you, and thanks again for coming on. So next we're gonna have Jerlyn. So just introduce yourself, give us a little play-by-play on where you at religiously, and if you had any type of things that you want to bring to our attention on the pod as well.
Sure, I'm Geraldine. I grew up with a lot of denominational backgrounds, Baptist, Church of God in Christ, Apostolic. Um, we never Christianity is something that we got into that I heard a lot of as I got older, but it was always denomination. But right now I'm doing a lot of studying for myself. And I wanted to, we'll talk about it later about religion. I don't feel like religion is necessary either. And I'm just here today to give my input and maybe we can get some answers.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, we're gonna open up the pod with a question. Um, and I want to think I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Um, let's start with what makes your spiritual claim true? Either one of y'all could take it first.
Go ahead, young lady. You can go.
My spiritual claim is given to me through the word that the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. And I'm more of a spiritual type person, revelation, prophetic. I talk to the host about this a lot. Me being a spiritual person, sometimes people don't like to operate in those arenas, but the letter, sometimes information kill us, but the spirit that you have to search and seek the invisible for those things. So I'm just really spirit driven. The gift, I'm a gifted. This stand with the spirit. That's all I gotta say. I'm just gonna stay with the spirit.
Okay. I mean, my life experiences, I believe, that is our whole goal, is to get to the divine, back to spirit, and kind of mesh this 3D reality with our spirit, like Jesus did. Um, you know, Obviously Jesus is, you know, the way that I believe is that we all have these spiritual gifts. We just have to unlock it, like Jesus, like Buddha, all of these great ascending masters. They are the proof. It You just have to look within yourself.
Now, you guys say to be able to reach into the visible realm, spiritual realm, is what you would say. Um, what or how could it affect the world if everyone was to adopt this mindset? Either one of you guys can take it first.
I with this whole consciousness thing and being one with spirit, I believe the second coming of Christ is, the coming of the Christ consciousness, to where we are all connected. I mean, if you go down the belief system that we create our reality, in a way, we are already a collective creating, the environment that we are in, that's making everything at a solid state. So at that point, once we start raising our vibrations to a higher level, I believe that humanity and society will raise to that higher consciousness and get to that.
To raise our awareness about spiritual things, um, I believe is very important, and it can change our outlook on life and life goals and life challenges and different things like that. Spirituality, um, from my understanding, from what I've read or from what I've experienced, I'm sorry, from what I've experienced personally, is very important. Uh, it can change us and bring us to a higher level of awareness.
Now, would you say that this awareness is just adaptable to everyone, or like, do you need to go through a traumatic experience? Like, what starts this process up?
Searching
I
God,
Yes,
looking
that's a
for
good
God,
answer.
looking for a connection to the invisible realm, searching God. God, I know that I hear you. I know that you're here for me. Um, and I want to know your gifts. I'm reading the word. I'm going through the Bible. I'm reading the word. This is from a standpoint of a reader, not just a Christian, a reader. Search someone searching for answers. We're not all Christians. We're not all Buddhists. We're not all Muslims, but we all, I don't care who you are, we are looking for answers. We're all looking for that love, that truth, that peace, that power. So, yeah, just that connection with God.
Yeah, well, same question.
Well, yeah, I mean, most definitely. I mean, I, to get on the path, you know, she's absolutely right. Is because you want to find out what you are. You want to find out if there is a God. You know, that really does start you on your journey. And the more research you do, whether it's reading or watching documentaries or watching, studies on the Bible or studies on consciousness or Buddhism, that all starts putting you on a path to somewhere. A path to God is ultimately what it is. And discovering who you are on that path. That is kind of the biggest difference between spirituality and religion, where spirituality is more of the individual's journey, where religion is more of a mass collective of, finding that, your awakening.
Yeah, I
And
actually get what you're saying. So, if you're saying there's a set of people who are individuals, and this would then by proxy consider them spiritual, then the mass collection is considered a religion or religious.
yeah,
So then, from your maybe past experiences, what evidence, like the teacher or the person that was educating you on these pathways to purpose and understanding, what
Um,
evidence did he provide to you, he or she provided to you to show if it was correct or not?
it's really it's hard to say because you're no matter where you're at, that old part of you that still lingers in you that, oh, if I do, if I veer away from, the scripture, the way that, you were taught in church, I'm going to go to hell and all this, that plays a big factor in it. You get very scared. It does. And I don't think that's right. That's something that's been programmed into us. And that journey to sit there and discover more and more, and you start reading in between the lines. Like me, my personal experiences, one of my exes, we had a so-called ghost in the house. And it was a little girl. And I had multiple experiences with her. And then one time I felt my brother's presence. And I'm like, this is so weird, you know? Like I've never, it scared me, but yet it very much intrigued me. And I wanted to know more. And I come to find out that my ex studied Wicca and she was into that and she was able to pull my brother into a situation that we had going on at our house at the time. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like thinking, well, hell, if I felt my brother's presence, and my brother, he kind of turned away from the church and Christianity and kind of went down the Buddhist route. And I'm like, in all senses, he should be, rotting in hell. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
But that's
And
so
that kind
so so quick
that
question.
furthered my, research into,
Yeah.
you know, what I do.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. So did the teacher or the person prior to the event give you explanations? Because I'm confused because I thought in Christianity they talk about a spiritual realm, not just for the sake of evil, but the sake of good too. So, like, did this person
It,
ever provide evidence? Hence the question. Like, did this person provide evidence to explain that version of the world?
um, no, I mean, I'm still in the early stages of learning meditation and getting to astroplane my body. I have done it before, unwillingly, like unknowingly doing it. I have astral traveled. Um, and like it is real, it's crazy. I mean, my cousin Billy, who he was having some major health issues a year or so ago, and everything that I've been learning, I asked him because he apparently saw my father and my uncles, and and I asked him questions. I'm like, "You saw the other side, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yes." I go, "Is there a hell?" And he's like, "No." I go, "Is it nothing but love there?" And he's like, "Yes." And I go, "Was it beautiful?" And he's like, "Yes." You
So,
know,
so
I believe that that is the divine giving me the answers that, I need personally. So if you
okay,
want to say that is the divine talking through my cousin to give me the answers, yes, you could.
okay,
Most
and
definitely.
so Pumpkin, or Jerry, same thing, same question. Like the person that you were under its tutelage, or I'm sorry, under its teachings, um, did this person give you actual evidence and like true knowledge to what you're supposed to be representing before you took your different path?
When I finally came into the fold, I was always saved. I was a young girl. I didn't do things that other young people did. I was always saved by grace through faith. By faith, I believed that I was saved, and I didn't have any evidence like of a voice coming on me. I just knew inside of my heart. I just felt that I was in. But the teachings that I was taught, like the fivefold ministry gifts, the prophetic, the apostolic, the evangelistic, the prophet, and the teacher and the evangelist, I always had a connection to those ascension gifts. Absolutely, I believe the things that were being done through manipulation were not the right thing. Him being a pastor, but he taught some things. That's how come I never judge a book by its cover. But he taught some things that, excuse me, he taught some things that were absolutely true that I live by to this day.
Great. And we got Chaos coming in currently. So Chaos,
Hey,
I'll pose that same question to you. During your pathway of like, discovery, for purpose of like spirituality and things of that nature, did the person or teacher give you proper evidence and the
Hmm.
accuracy of the information?
never. And I'm gonna say never because I was with Geraldine as well, under that same person, and I knew a lot. If we're talking about the same person here,
We are.
'cause- and if you remember that time period, I knew him personally, and I got to see a lot of things that um, other people didn't see. My evidence is in how you live and how you walk, right? And so if you're telling me that I need to gauge my life by a certain path or a certain book or a certain lifestyle, my evidence is going to be, well, how are you living? Where is the fruit being bared in what you're saying and how you're living? Where is because the evidence is going to show and prove itself through how you live. Because if you're teaching something that you're not living, then you're a false teacher, right? And so, yeah, you can say some things that might prove to be true that are in that Bible or that religious text that you're using, but I can go to a Ku Klux Klan meeting, I can go to an Aryan meeting, and they can say some things that I agree with as well. If you picking up what I'm
I,
putting down.
so I love that you actually walked us into our next question.
Mhm.
So, and this is something we talk with Atwood outside of the pod.
Mhm.
So, what do you believe religion is? And there's a actual definition of religion.
Mhm.
So I'll provide that afterwards, and then I want to see if you can hold to that same standard. It's a little game I
Okay.
want to play right quick. So, what do you believe religion is? Without looking up the dictionary
Mhm.
definition, what do you believe
Okay.
religion is?
What do I think? What do I think it is, or what do I think they intend it to be, or what do I think that they're saying it's supposed to be,
No,
or what do I just think it is?
yeah,
Because
just like
that's
straight,
because that's
just straight off the top, like you was explaining this to a 5-year-old, and you was like,
uh,
"This is what religion is," and you was just like, right off the top
okay.
of my head, this is where it's at.
Well, I'm going to explain it like I explained it to your niece and your nephews. It's a tool of control. I mean, I'm just gonna cut through the BS. It's a tool. It's a tool of control, and it's used to control the masses of people.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And that's all. And that's cutting out all the BS. That's cutting out all the etymology of the wordplay of it and what it's supposed to be, what people think it is, what it was originally set up for. Versus, it's a tool.
Awesome,
It is a
awesome,
tool of
awesome,
control. Yeah.
awesome. Go ahead, Atwood. Same question. What do you believe religion is?
I mean, we all know what religion is. You know, it's It's a collective of people coming together, worshiping a deity. Bottom line. But no, I would have to, I totally agree with chaos. I I think it is used to control. I truly do. That's why I say you don't need religion to get to God. You just don't. It makes no sense why you need a certain book or a certain belief system to get to God. You just have to find it's your own individual journey to God. And the fact that some people say that, oh, God found me. No, you found God. You chose to take that path. There's some people that, they don't take that path. They're like, oh, I don't believe in a God. That's their choice, you know. But I know deep down in my heart, those people are not rotten in hell. They're perfectly
Awesome,
fine.
awesome, intriguing, intriguing. You guys are awesome. Go ahead, Jillian. You
No, buddy,
next.
you're awesome. You're awesome.
You're
Why?
next.
Religion to me is man-made rituals that are being presented to masses of people. I've seen it through evidence that religion to me is just rituals, man-made rituals that is used to control the masses.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
See,
So I
I
want
mean,
so
right,
so no, go ahead if you
That's
want
just
to, because
me.
I was ready to
That's
put
just
my trap
me.
I was ready to put my trap card down, but I didn't know.
Go ahead, take
Oh,
it. Do what y'all
okay.
gotta do.
Okay, so y'all activated my trap card. Awesome. So what happened is you guys just subscribed to being a religion. Why would I say that, right? Because the definition says a cause, principle, or system of beliefs held to with adore and faith. Not a set of people, not multiples, it's not a numeric code to it. It is just a set of principles and a system of beliefs. So this is where Atwood probably is going to hate me for it, but he is now subscribing to being in a religion. Uh, I'll leave it
but
like
hold
that.
on.
I'm the host. I'm the host. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not here to rebuttal.
I am going to debate this one because the fact that not everybody believes exactly what I believe. My beliefs are different than all of you. So therefore, like those are my own beliefs. So you're just telling me I'm in a religion by myself? No, I'm a spiritual being. Bottom
Yeah,
line and
the
simple.
the Webster's, let me see, dictionary, yeah, Merriam's Webster's dictionary is a cause, principle, or system of beliefs held to with adore in faith. No numbers, not like two, three, four, five people. That's more of like a Catholic maybe belief or system or something like that. But it's just straight up, hey, you got a cause, you got a principle, you got a set of beliefs, and it said or. So you can fall into any of these categories. And then therefore you are now, yeah, a religion of one. Which if I mean I don't think it's a religion of one, but that's
Okay,
nonetheless.
so we have the what, but does it say why?
No,
Does the
yeah,
dictionary
see,
say the why?
so hence you being the religion, you should be now the catalyst to search for the truth continuously as you continue to do the a cause, principle, and system of beliefs.
Touche. Okay, I'll give you that. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give that to you.
That will give me a lot of time to think about this question, and I was glad I was able to. I wanted to push you guys up against a fence because he was like, "Oh, I'm not a religion. I'm not a religion," and I was like, "Let me look into this," because I take people's words seriously, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "What is
Walk the
religion?"
fence though. But you know me, I walk the fence, man.
Yeah,
So
no.
uh,
This was good because it
yeah,
just showed me though. It taught me something because what is the standard, right? You guys promoted to me, right? As soon as you hear the word religion, it means Armageddon, hell, some dude with a pitchfork, right? Immediately, right? So I'm like, I don't
Me,
even.
well, I'm still sticking. I'm sticking to my story. I said it
No,
was
no,
a
no. You're
tool.
good. You're good. You're good. But I'm
It's my
saying the.
story, and I'm sticking to it.
No, you're good. I think I got. But I'm saying religion. The word religion has been
Hmm.
um
Demonized.
Fruit Loops given to me, right?
Yeah.
But you know what?
It's the mainstream cereal that of course Kellogg is pushing, right? So when
Yeah.
I want to look into some Fruit Loops that does not say Fruit Loops on it, the person's like, "Oh crap, this dude want to buy different types of Fruit Loops. What's wrong with him?" And it's like, "Well, hey, that was your fault for telling me that I had to buy Kellogg's." So that's where I'm at with it. I always like to look at things in a different perspective because I think we have been even conditioned to defend in a certain way too. So I also want to get away from that. That's where my sincerity of the podcast is coming into. I do not even want to defend like people have taught me to defend. I want to come up with a whole different understanding, and that's why I will seek only for objective truth only. So
No
yeah,
doubt.
I know it sucks that I looked up the dictionary word, but I'd rather sit on something that I have scholars or something to back me on, or even if they some bombs. The world would probably be like, oh, I kind of like Vaughn's. I like Vaughn's prediction of how it works better than some already set in stone negative conditioning, right? Because we don't think about things like that. So
But you know, you could look at it this way as the fact that the powers that were used that definition to control what religion truly is. And I'm
yeah,
pretty sure Chaos can agree
I
with that.
consider yeah, I consider that. And so I looked at it as if I was I spit around in a circle and then I was like, where's my finger gonna go? And it didn't land on hot or cold. So I was like, oh, okay. I feel like this is the answer then because it doesn't help either case. It doesn't help either side. And I think I told Chaos that beforehand. If I can fall on something that doesn't help either side, that feels more like the truth because one is conditioned towards a positive like of something, and then one's
Mhm.
conditioned to a negative like. So I'm like, how do I get away from both? And so
Yeah.
that's where I went with it.
Yeah, and that's a fine line to walk, especially
Oh,
when
it's
you're
hard.
trying to get to the truth. It's always a fine line to walk
Oh, it's
because
hard.
because we always associate something either with the hot or cold, good or bad, because that's the density. Third density is all about yin and yang anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Good or bad, left and right, up, down,
Mm-hmm.
red, blue, Crips, Bloods,
Yeah.
Democrats, Republicans. It's
Yeah.
this, it's all a
Yeah.
part of the same thing.
There's never a middle. There's never a true solid middle ground. And so
Nope.
that's why
See,
I'm
but the
hoping.
problem
Go ahead.
the problem is all of that is pointless in the end. The politics, the red, the blue, all of it is pointless in the
It's a
end.
distraction. Yeah, it's a distraction. I
Yeah.
agree with you. Yeah. It's a
It I mean,
distraction from the truth. And
yeah,
that's what it's a distraction from what Levine is talking about is getting to the truth. It's all a distraction to keep you occupied from the truth. If I can keep you looking this way while I'm
Mm-hmm.
over here doing something over
Something
here,
else.
mm,
Exactly.
you
and
know
also,
that
if I can give you a problem and give you the
A
solution,
solution.
Hegelian dialectic, I can give you a Hegelian
Mm,
dialectic type of
exactly.
a situation, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as the enemy or as the opposer. So I agree.
you
Exactly.
know,
Go ahead.
and it's just like, Morgan Freeman, he said in an interview that racism shouldn't even exist. These are all things that people are starting to realize now, that like we are being controlled and we just had no idea. I truly believe that.
I'm glad you said that. So Pumpkin or Jerlyn, I want to go ahead and
Geraldine,
pose.
please.
I want to go ahead and give you the next question. Right?
Okay.
What is religious in
What
your
is
terms? In your terms.
what is religious? Religious to me, as I said, are a bunch of frivolous rituals, not going in the areas of the truth. But I'm just gonna give you an example. I've come across some things. If you are a Bible toter, or if you believe in reading the Bible, and everything in the Bible, I was told everything in the Bible is true. Do you agree?
I agree to an extent.
Which Bible?
Okay,
Which Bible are we talking about?
the King James.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
that? Yeah, King James
Absolutely not.
1, no. Hell no.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
whole nother show, though. So let me shut up. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, for sure. But
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say.
no,
I
I
also
mean,
agree. I also agree that same way. It's yeah, yeah. I also agree. I'll stop
hey,
there too.
okay. I've seen people have rituals, religious rituals that are not syncing up with what the truth. We said we're trying to find out what the truth is, right? How do we even know how do you even know what the truth is? That's why I'm getting a little confused now because it's like your truth, my truth, our truth. Are these just opinions or are they truths? What is religion? Rituals. I told you they're man-made rituals that I can't get on with. That's what I feel like a religion is. Freedom, liberty. Where the spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. That's what I'm searching for. Freedom. I don't want
hmm
to be bound by an opinion of a man. I don't want to be bound by a word or somebody's uh information. I don't want to be bound by that. So that's why I don't like a lot of different things. I like to study with a lot of different people, but I don't like when people religiously put their opinions on me. This is what you should do. This is what I feel like it is. This is what this is. And you're not teaching me to learn for myself.
Awesome.
That's what
Religion,
God is telling you
Awesome.
to do.
Awesome. Awesome. Because I'll go ahead and give it to Chaos next. Same question. What is religious now? What is religious in your own terms?
In terms, how do I phrase this to where it makes sense? Um, I gotta agree with with what Geraldine was saying about bunch of rituals and God is telling me that you blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay. In my definition though of religion to be conforming. Give me 1 second. My AirPod died. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can y'all hear me?
hmm
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I can't hear y'all. Hold on.
No problem. Well, while we
He
wait
might have.
for Chaos, go ahead and take the question for us. What does religious mean in your own terms?
Why don't you just give us the definition? Because I'm pretty sure you got it.
This is not how the pod works. We would like to hear your opinion, sir.
um, I mean, you could sit there and call religious, an act of a religion. There, simple
Sweet.
and sweet.
Sweet. Chaos, did you get your audio back?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. So same question. What would you describe religious to be in your own terms?
All things that fall under the umbrella of said religion. It's kind of like the saying, "When in Rome, do as the Romans do." I'd apply that same terminology or that same saying to the word religious. Things that make you appear, you know, under that form of religion, or like they said, having godliness but denying the power, if you will, and things of that nature. So anything that kind of gives the um
Would
it gives
you
the implication that you're moving in a religion or more, or your actions are moving within a religious faction or in a religious sect. Yeah.
when you're coming up with your thoughts,
hmm
um are they thought out like you calculate like how you're going to like, hey, this is what I believe in, this is how I do things. Um you take your time when you do it, right? I would agree.
Um, yes and no, because I know my thoughts are not my own. Because I view spirituality in a little different of a way. And a lot of times I have to go outside of their thoughts and be the observer and see what those thoughts, because our thoughts are not our own all the time. And but when I'm looking at a situation, sometimes I have to come outside of what we would call our thoughts, because our thoughts are not our own. And we are more than just, we're multidimensional beings. So no, I don't always do things conventionally like most people do. A lot of times I have to go and meditate, come outside of the body and kind of look and see what things really are, see what the higher version of who you're seeing right now or who you're hearing right now is, and tapping into that. And that's where I really get my answers from. I don't get it from this matrix. I don't get it from the frequencies that are constantly being programmed
Awesome.
through TV and social media and things like that. I tap into that higher realm, that higher self.
So guys, so you ready for the definition, I'm assuming, right? So
Yeah, go ahead.
religious, and I'm gonna give two of them because I felt like this was very important. So the first one is, I think, what you guys were gauging at, right? Relating to or manifesting faithful devotion to acknowledge deity, but there's an or here, or ultimate reality. Okay. And I think all of you guys were saying something about that, right? So then the additional definition is scrupulously and conscientiously faithful. So
Interesting.
in your search for this information, you're religious by definition due to the fact that you take your time, you are trying to honestly get this information, and you're thoroughly going through it. Now, mind you, I don't think these dudes are Christian. These guys that make Mirror and Whisper. Yeah, I don't think they're Christian.
Well, mind you. So that is your definition of what those things are. That is not
Oh,
our
whoa,
definition.
whoa, 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 whoa,
That
whoa,
is
whoa,
not
whoa,
our
whoa, whoa,
definition of what
whoa,
those
whoa,
things
whoa,
are.
whoa, whoa.
No, that's Miriam's definition. That ain't his definition.
Thank you, brother. Because I knew I had to have one person on here to like help back me up on like actual information. Yeah, this is
Because
not.
if you ask me, that's BS. That definition is BS. But
Yeah, yeah. But do you see now once again why the steps that needs to be taken is not simply from a hyper positive and hyper negative standpoint, right? Because these things are looked at from, you guys promote perspectives, but at the same time, if you go against someone's perspective, then you don't promote perspectives. So that's where I was trying to bring this out, because Atwood kept telling me about it. He's like, religious and religion. I'm like, dude, I don't really think I understand what religious and religion is, because I've been spoon fed, like you guys said before, from different sects and things like that, and false pastors and things like that about what religion and religious is, right? So this is why I looked into it. Sorry, Atwood, if you don't agree with research, but that's just how it works. If you can,
and religious can be a non-theological term too. I can be like,
thank you,
I work out religiously, and it
thank
ain't
you,
got nothing to do with a deity. It ain't got nothing to
thank
do
you,
with quote unquote ultimate reality, as
thank you.
Merriam-Webster says. So
Actually, I think if you scroll down, you probably do get those terms interchangeably. Yeah,
okay,
they
okay,
do. Yeah, they do. As you
yeah,
scroll down, you get to use it as an adjective, like they said,
yeah.
religious institutions, hold on,
Hmm.
religious order or
All
something like
right.
that. So
So
yeah,
hold on, Vaughn. So at that point, so would you consider Christianity religion?
yeah,
Right.
they have to fall in the category of beliefs. It's
What
not
what what is what? All right, hold on. So what is the definition of a cult?
Mm, I see
someone
what you're doing.
someone controlling somebody.
I see what you're doing.
But I
Take
would
that, you SOB. Take that.
so Yeah, no, that's fine. So if one day you start getting a whole bunch of people together, that would. I don't think he wanted to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So one day you get a whole bunch of people together, Atwood. You tell me come over your house. You have no building, but just your house. I have to now follow your ways of thinking. What are you now?
A
A
leader of the
cult
people.
leader.
A cult leader.
You want to put the cult in front of it. It's all
Yeah.
listen. At the end of the day, you can shake it to the left or you can shake it to the right, but there's definitely a middle ground, which is called truth. Period.
No, yeah, no, but I can shake mine up and down too.
And there's still a area called truth.
No Diddy. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's
again, so at that
no,
point, yeah, all right, we are. You can call us religion or religious,
yes,
and I'm going to call religion cults. I'm going to call Christianity a cult because by definition it is.
awesome. So do you guys promote love? Geraldine? Because it helped lead me into the next thing. Because I wanna show sincerity in people's thoughts, and I want to see if they can actually stick to these processes until it's time for them to have power and control. So, do you promote love?
Absolutely. Love is core is the key. Love is core. Love is what gets people to listen to you. Love if you want them to, if you're trying to persuade people. Mine is just I love to listen to information. I love to listen. I love to listen to people and I sometimes I chime in, but love is the cornerstone. Love is patient, love is kind. That's what gets us to be around people and to understand people. It's absolutely, absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's jump over Atwood and give Chaos the mic first. Do you promote love?
You asking me or you asking Atwood?
Chaos.
You
Me? It depends because it's been a lot of people testing me lately, so I don't always promote love, bro.
That
Sometimes,
will
sometimes I gotta,
you
I gotta promote something else. You know what I'm
awesome.
talking about?
No, 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 awesome. Actually, you can stop it right there because I actually wanted a good answer like that. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Atwood. You next. Do you
I
promote
mean,
love?
yeah. I mean, she is absolutely correct. Love is the language of the universe, and love is the language of the divine. Um, Most definitely. Like even when I was having my doubts, like when I was, discovering my spirituality or my religion, if you want to call
Thank you.
it.
I just wanted to show that all sides are attributing to the same thing, and so
So
you guys always will say that you're like none of you guys are Switzerland, and that's what I wanted to promote properly because I think humans don't realize they have biases, and the thing that I'm trying to continue to do through the pod is to destroy those separations.
Mhm.
And the only way to do that is to expose both sides on, hey, you say you're doing this, but you look just like those guys that you said you don't like, right? So
Mhm.
I wanna expose that. That's the goal.
yeah, but I mean, even when I was battling at that moment in my life, I was still like I felt like a hippie. I'll totally admit, the stereotype. Oh, I'm just peace and love, man.
Hmm.
Maybe it was because I, discovered, a herbal remedy. Maybe I don't know.
Sure, sure,
you
yeah,
know, but like even the further that I've gone, like e- even the people that have done me wrong, you know what? I forgive them. You know, I have family members that have done me and my family wrong, and I forgive them. I do. I don't have to forget,
so
but I forgive them, and you know what? And I sit there and I take that situation that I was in and I try to learn from it And because obviously there's something to learn from it. I mean, even when I sit there and have a bad day, at work, I get in the car, I take the slow way home, I turn on, very harmonizing music, to, elevate my frequencies. Even when some a-hole sits there and cuts me off on the expressway like he did this morning, I started getting mad, and then I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's
nope, it's not worth it. You're getting mad and angry over something that's
so.
Is that a man?
trivial. Is that a man thing?
Yeah.
Why?
Things that people get angry about. I'm not trying to say that I'm so peaceful and I'm so this, because I get angry too. I get annoyed with people. Yes, absolutely. But things I can't change, I don't worry about. Like, people gonna be people, you know? I don't let that get to me anymore. I had to learn. Like,
Oh,
people gonna be people. And I don't want to sound like kumbaya, but I have to let a lot of things go.
oh no, I,
Disrespect,
I,
all kind of stuff.
oh, I totally agree with you. And like when you're sitting there and you're elevating yourself and raising your frequencies, it's hard to untrain those behaviors that were bred into you as a child. Like certain things, like that we get triggered by and we shouldn't.
Okay,
you
so
know
let me ask you a question then, or let me ask Chaos a question because he had more of a viewpoint I have, right? So I don't truly, as a Christian, as and finally they'll get to find out on the podcast. Yes, guys, I'm a Christian. Um,
you're not a Christian.
yeah, I'm a Christian, because I'm starting to understand. I love the hate, so it's just making me just a monster in what I'm doing. So
Can I ask you a question
go
before
ahead,
you go on?
go ahead.
So, why are you saying just? I'm not going back on not being a Christian. I'm not a Christian anymore. I never. I don't believe I ever had Christian values. I believe there's a separation of Jesus and Christianity. So I don't want to be a Christian. But it's like, you were saying like I don't. You were saying like I'm kind of a Christian or sort of like. Is that to reel people in?
No. People do what they do with words. This is why it's important to define words. I know people don't like defining words, but this is called it's a word that's called communication. Another word I had to use, and another word I'm using now. And so as we use words to speak to each other, we have to know that the person is receiving the word properly. So, give you a quick example. I told a young lady that I do like the handyman work for. Me and her were speaking a little. I can only speak a tiny bit of Spanish, right? So she asked me something, and it ended with aprende, and you probably know that from movies. But then there's also a word that's called entiendo, right? So these two words are interchangeable. They both mean learn or understand. But if she doesn't use it properly for me, or I don't understand that word, then therefore I don't understand what she just communicated to me. So I
Back
say,
to spirit. What the letter can't give you, the spirit can resurrect. And I'm not gonna argue, but that's what I believe.
yeah, so yeah, as far as me being a Christian, I say it now as of today. I made the decision today to like just go all out on it because the hate that comes behind it makes sense. And it keeps me going. And I'm doing this podcast a little different today because I am frustrated because I think people talk about love, but they're not there and they don't know how to do it. And so I want to learn how to properly receive and give. So, like Andre said, or Chaos said, I'm sorry, about what happens with him, he's like, hey, I can't really describe it. And I feel the same way because too many events have shown me opposite of what actual love is. I see it in activism and things like that. These people do not know how to love. They'll tell you that to use the word, but they don't. Obviously something's wrong. Either they don't understand the word and the definition of what the word means, or they never received it appropriately and therefore they don't know how to give it out. So then now it's a circle of life of bad information going in a circle. And I need to destroy bad information as much as possible because people are just going to use it willy-nilly and be like, this is what it means, when we've been using it a certain way and expressing it a certain way for so long. Now we don't know how to do it because we just hate words or something. And so that's what I'm trying to get to. Truth is important because I think people don't want truth because the words that communicate truth, people don't like it and it hurts feelings. So therefore, I am here to do that. And so chaos. So I was sorry, and so I wanted to get your point of view from that chaos, where you say you haven't had the proper giving of love. You muted.
My bad. I
Oh,
was
sorry.
muted. What's the question again?
Do you promote love?
Not all the time, no.
Awesome. And give me an example of like that not or how that plays out for you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use you for an example, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, no, let's use me for an example because I was having a discussion with my daughter
Mm-hmm.
a week or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I told her, I said, well, actually, I can't use that example because it's based off of love. The example I was going to use is that I carry, so
Yep.
but I'm also trained in hand to hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, if somebody walks in here or thinks they're going to walk in here and do something,
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna end the way you think it's going to end. And at
Right.
that point in time, and I can say that at that point in time, I'm not exercising love at all, but I am because I'm protecting family. So just, love is
Mm,
shown in different ways. I was gonna say that was an example of me not, but it is because
no, it's that's an awesome example because Chris said the same
yeah,
thing in the last pod. He said when it came to me, I don't know in that point in time if morality is going to play a part for me because how I see it when I need to harm somebody to protect somebody, morality come into play. So
it,
that's
it,
where I'm
it,
saying it's a contradiction of it shows you on paper that human beings by nature are contradicting. And so how do you eliminate it? You get
I don't think
enough
you can.
you
I
can't
don't think
really
you can.
you can't truly do it, right?
No,
But the
because
best
and I'm gonna tell
go
you
ahead, go
why.
ahead,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
tell you why. I don't mean to cut you off,
No,
but I
no, no,
want to
get in there,
start
get in
real
there.
quick.
Go over there.
Um, these are all articulations of perspective. um what's legal and what's accepted in one place is not always in the other place. You can have a whole system of people who say, yeah, it's okay to marry somebody when they're 15 years old, and they're all with it. The community is with it. That particular city or country is with it. Over here, we're gonna be like, hell no, you're not doing that. You know what I mean? So a lot of these discussions are needed because there's so many different perspectives, but I agree with you. The truth has to be in there somewhere, intertwined in there
Somewhere. Somewhere, right?
somewhere. But
And I
that's
think
a
now,
that's a
now,
that's a tough line to
go ahead.
walk because there's so many different perspectives and what people think are right versus what are wrong or what
Th-
they've
th-
accepted versus what we were raised
Thank
on.
you.
Even
Thank you.
in our own society, what was
Thank you.
accepted back in
Yeah.
the 50s or not accepted back in the 50s is blatant in our face in every movie now. So I mean,
Thank you.
you
And that's
know,
what I wanted to, that's what I want to show. Is like, and I'm so glad you so honest because that's what I can't get from a ton of people, right?
mm,
This is now one after however other meeting people we interview. This is all I'm asking for people. Be honest with what you're saying because I only have so much to play with when it comes to understanding the truth. I
and
have
this is
only
why
so
I'm a
much
fence
room.
walker. And this
Yeah.
is why I'm a fence walker because there's not always what we've been taught that cut and dry truth is not truth. It doesn't always
no,
apply depending on the
you're, you're,
situation.
you're, Yeah, you're
Go ahead, Edward.
absolutely right. But I do believe if we can sit there, you know, you sit there and you say you meditate and go to the spiritual realm, and you do that with love. And the more that we can get people to do this, more people will wake up. It unfortunately it is not our jobs to convert people to the way that we believe. All we can do is sit there and point a finger and say, hey, just check this out, take it however you want to see it, you know. But love is the key, and it is once you start realizing everything that has happened in your life and you take responsibility for that, I really think it helps open your eyes a little
You're,
bit more.
but you're speaking. So thank you too, Edward, because you're speaking to what stand I'm taking, right? So I know, and especially in this day and age, that it is hated at a large percentage now. People don't realize the free thinker is now the majority, not the Christian, right? So, but I play basketball. I like being down by 20, and I like winning the game after being down by 20
Hmm.
because it shows how much more bittersweet it was that you couldn't take something from me and you tried your hardest. So
Now, see,
that's where I wanted to make sure you guys are telling me with honesty what you're going through or what you're doing, and I'm trying to see where I can bridge the gaps and tell another person, hey, Christian, this person is saying X, Y, and Z. So
oh,
that's what it comes down to. But go ahead,
mo,
Geraldine.
mo,
I know you didn't get a chance to speak.
How you love Christianity and you feel like can't nobody tell you that Christianity is not the way. You love Christianity, right? Not to be
And
funny,
and, I- and
but
I'm
you
doing it
love.
alone. And I'm doing it alone too because I barely can get anybody on this podcast. So I'm also doing it alone too. I think that's a big point that the black community doesn't understand nor will ever understand. If a black man does something alone and builds his legacy, um, you are hating what you supposed to be promoting.
No. Okay, that's
no,
that's from your
see,
opinion.
that's a belief system that is old. I don't believe
No,
that belief
no,
system.
no, exactly what I'm saying. So if I don't adopt old systems, hence why I'm speaking to people who aren't Christian, right?
Question,
Go ahead.
question. You love Christianity. Why we can't love our truth?
Who's stopping you? You don't get to join the Church of Vine. That's the difference. And
Wow, is that self-centered?
well, because I wanted to be extremist
I don't
about it
want
on
to
purpose.
join the church.
No, no, I wanted to be extremist on purpose, right? Because I'm hearing that it's the Church of Vine, and so I say individuality, I say spirituality, and this is why words are important. No one's hearing individuality, the spirituality, the things that align with meditation, with this praying and things like that, manifestation, things like that. These are all words being used. When someone says, "Hey, I'm a Christian," and then you start using the words, you're sent to hell immediately. So someone
Who
reconcile
said?
someone reconcile that type of stuff
Yeah.
for me.
Wait a minute. You said I'm confused. You said if you say somebody say Christian, you say you're sent to hell. That's a you said what?
No, I stop there. It's a
Oh,
terminology,
okay.
not actual hell.
I mean, that all goes up to your definition of what hell is.
Thank you, thank you,
You're really
You
just
know,
thank you.
speaking
is
from that. You're just saying that people are quick to judge you in a negative way when you say that,
Thank you, so thank you
right?
for being on the pod. Thank you.
Right. They
Thank you.
condemn you. They condemn you immediately.
Thank
All
you.
says,
oh,
all what the
But
Christians had.
Christians are
What
not
he did for
wait.
Christians? Kill
Christians,
him now.
Christians are not the wait a minute. Christians are not the only hated religion. We,
Exactly.
no,
we have
No, yeah,
many
no one.
Christians.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because I don't think I disputed that.
No, and it's, and sitting there, and I'm pretty sure Chaos, felt the same way, like, people still look down on the way that we believe, aliens, Chaos believes that the earth is flat, like
Actually, I don't
that
believe the
that's
Earth
that.
is flat, but that's another discussion. Go ahead.
Well, you said the
Awesome.
last time you said the last time that you were on that
Mhm.
you said something about it, but like people still look down on that stuff.
Yeah, they do. They do. They do.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
they do. Yeah, they do. That, and
and
that's my problem. I think so. Okay, let's do an experiment right quick. Right, play that I'm the free thinker and your guys the Christians. Right.
Okay.
So then I say, hey man, so dude, there's a deity, and, and he came to this nation.
You breaking up real bad. Say it again.
Um, oh, snaps. Oh, yeah, oh, okay. All right. I see what it's doing here. All right, cool. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you
yeah,
now. You just
Okay, okay,
went
awesome.
totally out. Man,
Yeah,
okay,
that
go ahead.
dude, I'm telling you, it get weird like this when I'm trying to express the truth. So
Yeah, that's what it be. Go ahead.
you see, yeah, so
Mhm.
once again, I believe in spirituality, but so let's leave that alone. So
Mhm.
so let's play this game, right? So you guys are
Yeah.
the Christians. You guys are the Christians. I'm the free thinker. So I tell you guys, hey, there's a guy that was incarnate of the deity, the supreme deity, the creator, right? Then you got a lot of science fiction s stuff, right? Which Atwood mentions it. So I say, hey, this deity shows his spiritual form to a guy that was lived before him. So he shows him, hey, there's gyroscopic beings. They're traveling over the sky. They look like the most beautiful minerals you ever seen in your life. And so, and then my thoughts are like, I gotta meditate and I gotta pray and I got to ask this supreme being to unlock the next level of my understanding, which is through him giving us like the ascendance through what's called the Holy Spirit, right? So this is all biblical terminology, but you guys are the Christians in reverse, right? So what would you think if I start saying that?
well, of course,
Anybody can take this.
but you know what? You got to look at it this way. That all depends on the person because each
That's
person
good.
is going to think
That's good.
differently. Just like your
That's
last
good.
podcast, you had
That's
six
good.
people, six Christians on the podcast who bickered back and forth. So like if it was
That's
me,
good. That's
even if
good.
I was part of, I mean, me discovering the things that I've discovered, I'm like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, there's no way in hell that this shit is real. Bottom
So
line is
so
simple.
So chaos,
I like,
same. So chaos, same thing, man. What would you think of this? Remember, you're the Christian. You're the I hold to this viewpoint, like your current viewpoint right now. It's Bible. You written it down. You can't get off of it. You got a whole bunch of people at a building, and you guys are here to destroy me because y'all like this dude done lost his mind. So the supreme being came down inside of a human being. This dude's psychotic, and he's
You're
by
going.
himself.
Hey, one sentence. You're going to hell, buddy. You're going to hell.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think
that,
that would be the response. That's why I just wanted some honesty in it in this
You're a
pod.
I
You're
mean,
a demon. You're full of You're full of demons, and you're going to hell, buddy. That would be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
response.
I mean, how many times did Lindsay say I was going to hell? I mean, you
I,
know,
I I think the perspective thing needs to be researched. I think people need to open their ears to perspectives, because
well,
So
otherwise you become the evil that you hate.
if somebody told me I was going to hell, I would start laughing. I
Well,
wouldn't
mhm.
take it serious.
when they tell me we going to hell, I say we already in hell.
I would
I,
start laughing
Yeah.
like you can't condemn me. What you do in secret? You
so
can't condemn me. I want to know what you do in secret that would send you to hell. Because ain't nobody perfect out here. Who perfect?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So that's another thing too. I wanted to clear up some of that stuff too, right? So I see where the judgment call shouldn't be judgments because of course the Bible tells you not to do it, right? So that's where I'm always confused. Like, why is it so known in the free thinker world that you're able to send people to hell? Like as a Christian, you're able to like have superpowers to send people to hell all of a sudden. Where is that written down at? And where fathers, like church fathers or something like that, told you that that was
That
true?
that's in the religious section of the Bible.
There you go.
It just tell you if you it just tell you if you do certain things, it could condemn you. You can be condemned. Immorality, perversion, lust, different things like that. And I'm pretty sure there
So
is a scripture in the Bible that talks about hell. But I want to know why you put is people always going around pointing their fingers at other people, talking about they going to hell. Are you perfect? Until you could prove to me that you don't do nothing in secret, you can't send me nowhere. That's all I'm saying. You giving me a sentence
uh,
or a verb or a word, but you can't tell me what you do in secret. What I want to know everything.
I think the problem is people double talk and try to sneak this, and that needs to be eliminated. These dudes are literally the people that we dislike on the pod, and they're literally becoming Christians of the free thought. Sneak dissing is for people who do not want to encounter truth. And it needs to be eliminated. Period. It's a cancer. It's a cancer.
Well, I mean, I had to change my thought. My everything had to change. At first, I was trying to be all professional and fake. You feel me? But it's like, as you kept talking, I'm like, let me go and be the person that I know I can be and ask some questions and stop being square. Stop being a
And
square.
that's the whole point of the pod is that I am trying to pull out legitimacy. That's why Atwood and Lindsay was able to still say "I love you" at the end of the pod after bringing out legitimacy. If you keep trying to live to these standards that you're not even truly honest with, then you're not even giving the person a chance to learn the sincerity of truth from you as the perspective, not the book. So if you continue to do it this way, guys, you are going to be doing everybody a disservice. You're going to put people at a edge of like destruction. And I ain't talking about hell. I'm talking about actual your blood and guts, you're done. That's point blank period. This is proven by life, not by things I think is about to happen. I've seen it happen. Period. And everybody with a kumbaya and stuff like that, and it's not real. And
You
I'm gonna be the
know,
first Christian that's gonna push reality. I'm sick and
and
tired of it.
It's all about when you come into kumbaya, you come into agreements.
yeah,
Nah,
Um,
like it.
nah.
Again,
That's no. Heck
you don't
no,
come
man.
to agreements when you say, okay, let's agree to disagree. We don't
Nah,
have to always. Okay.
I don't do stuff like that, man.
Oh,
Either we could say that we don't know something and then say, all right, later on, let's research it together. Other than that, I'm not doing no fake stuff, man. I'm never gonna be fake. And that's why I'm trying to be honest with the pod because I'm never gonna do anything fake. Sorry, Chaos and
you,
Edward, y'all can go.
you know, it is crazy. Like, yes, there is a more morality, you know, but is that a human thing? So I mean, take, you know, native tribes, you know, that do cannibalism. Do they think that is bad? Yeah, you know,
No.
no. So
And they've never been exposed to any form of Christianity. They don't even
Exactly.
exact.
You know,
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
you,
Yeah.
you
Can I
you
ask you a
know,
question? Oh,
and
go
that's,
ahead.
I mean, their belief system is different than all of ours. Like me, like there has just been something in me, like I've always preached love. Like I love my father, I do, but my dad was a little rough on me. He really made me feel small at times. But luckily enough, you know the older that I got, and the more that I got to know my dad told me he was proud of me. That was a big moment in my life. But I had to sit there and tell myself, look in the mirror, that I am a good looking guy. I am this, I am that. I had to sit there and believe these certain things to change my belief system, you know and like ever since
Exactly.
then, I'm like, I've been nothing but love. Even, Vaughn,
Yeah,
you knew me in my
me and you, yeah,
darker.
me and you experienced, and that's. I'm sorry to interject, Atwood, because I want to bring chaos in. But even me and Atwood, and then me and chaos, we've been able to experience those same levels of love from the fact of the world promoting a fake version of this. Like I said, it's kumbaya. I hate to keep using it, but it's kumbaya because
it,
they're telling us, oh, we're promoting black people. We do this, and that. But when it's time to put your hand to the fire, I can't find nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm getting down to. But I'm sorry, Cass, go ahead and bring us or go ahead and close us out.
Man, I was on mute, my bad. These are all valid points, and the whole key here is progress. The reason I stepped outside of the Christianity box is because I saw all of the flaws. I don't consider myself a Christian. I consider myself a person that's highly spiritual. Some might call me a high priest. Some might call me, hell, some people call me a warlock because of some of the things that they've seen happen
Amen.
to things around me. Some people call, everybody has a name, just like we have names for everything that we've been talking about this whole show, right? It's all a matter of perspective. And if we can all kind of agree to find an equilibrium in the middle of all of this and get to the real truth, because we know that these things have all been tainted. We know that the King James
Thank you.
what it's ain't what it's supposed to be. We
Yeah.
we know who King James was. We know what his proclivities were. You know what I'm saying? And
mhm.
if you don't know, you know, do some research on that. But
They even made
it's
a show on him. Yeah.
mm-hmm. So
Oh
so
yeah, I
so
was
the key.
watching. Yeah, I was
Go ahead.
watching that, and I'm sorry for interrupting. I
No,
apologize,
you good.
but
You
yeah,
good. You good.
I was watching that, and I had to like look it up. I'm like, is this the King James of the King James? And I was like, no
Mm,
way! I
yeah.
could not believe it.
Yeah,
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 it's crazy.
dude was the Diddy of his time, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
no baby oil. But the
Yeah.
point being, the point being, we all have to figure out a way to coexist
hmm
and to find the truth. This is all a matter of searching the truth and getting to the truth. And
Exactly.
what we're all finding, the more that we have these conversations, is that we've all been bamboozled in some way. The truth has been skewered. It's been kept from us. It's been carefully hidden. It's been interlaced into other things. And so as we unravel these
hmm
things, we start to find out that things really aren't what we thought they were. And I don't down anybody for their beliefs, or I don't try to convert anybody over to anything, because we're all really trying to get to that same goal, which is the truth. And in
For
order to
sure.
do that, we have to have these uncomfortable conversations.
Exactly.
We have to do exactly what you're doing to get there. And I got your back, bro, on all
Yeah,
of this, man.
I appreciate everybody who
Yeah.
really been trying to show the support because like I said, this is an example of a black business and it's not a lot of support. And so when we look
Don't
at
put a
things like
label on it. Don't
no, yeah, no,
see
even
that
even
right
without
there.
even no, but I want to make a point. It's not to label it. It's to expose truth. See, this is the thing. Because see, if you do that, you help the masses do what they supposed to do. You don't be understanding that you're a tool to continue the slavery, not like black slavery. I'm talking about chains, like your brain's getting locked up and you don't
Mhm.
want to grow because you're helping the tool. Like people don't understand when they voted. You can still carry person, right, Andre? People don't realize
Mhm.
when if they vote a certain way for one of these new bills is going to come out. Now it can help a
Mhm.
lot of other states out, right, when it comes to the suppressors and things like that. But what they don't know,
Mhm.
it could also in turn hurt us, in Michigan,
Mhm.
right? And so
Yep.
you don't realize you're a tool with information and you don't even
Mhm.
realize you're destroying somebody in the process. You don't realize it. So that's what I'm saying. How about step up, like go your route, but stop buying into it so much, right?
Yeah.
Go your right, but
Or
stop like be honest with it. Because if you go your like with me and Edward do, I always show him like, well, let's handle some Bible scriptures that you just like, dude, these dudes are just liars, right? About whatever happened. So I'm like, all right, cool. I buy into it. Let's go, Edward. They probably lying. So I go do a ton of research on it, right? And he'd be like, that's how he found out the Ezekiel found out about the Ezekiel story. Because he was like, oh crap, that lines up. Boom. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I
Mhm.
came outside of myself. I stepped outside of myself and stopped being like, I'm super Christian person. I know the Bible. And now I'm like, I need to read it and I need to be honest as if I'm Atwood and I want to do him a service because I know he going a different route. So let me just read it as if I'm him and I'm reading it for that information just to see if I'm correct or not. Him, not me. I'm playing as him while I'm trying to see if the information is correct or not.
see,
So
and
I'm the
right
bad.
there,
So
sir.
I'm the opposite guy trying to look into the book.
No, no, no. See, right there, you're on the right path because right there shows that you're servicing others. And is that not what Jesus partially was teaching? Is that you
Well,
need to serve
Well,
others.
most people
Not
don't
in a
agree. Most people don't agree
yeah,
I'm doing
not
what I'm doing. Everybody thinks I'm just some bona fide liar or something like that. So
and
yeah,
and,
that's
and,
cool.
and, and, and exactly that's why I'm pointing this out. So anybody who wants to sit there and talk on the sidelines and not, eh, no better lack of term, have the cojones to come on here and stand your ground. I am not like some college professor. I am just an ordinary person, you know.
They think I have seven. They think I say I have seven doctrines and everything.
You know, and but that's a thing that Jesus was teaching is to serve others, not as a sense of being a slave or anything like that. That's why, like, if I see someone on the side of the road, I'm going to take that chance of whether I'm going to get robbed or shot. I don't give a shit what color or what their
Right.
belief systems are. I'm going to help that person because to me that feels right. And I believe down in my heart that I'm doing the best that I can. And just like you and I, we're sitting there trying to connect what I believe to the Bible.
Thank you.
We're sitting there trying to get it to connect. I am not I am not a huge reader. I mean, if it doesn't have Batman or superheroes on the panels, I'm not really not really interested in it. I mean, I
Maybe I'm
like
an
I'll
alien in Ezekiel.
Mhm.
Because it's like, no, really, because it's like,
Did you
I,
watch that video?
which one?
The Ezekiel, the aliens with the
No,
Ezekiel?
I was just using it as an example because
Okay.
I don't. You guys are talking about stuff that's going over my head a little bit, and like you said, you don't have degrees. I don't either, but I know the spirit is alive, and I know it speaks through me. Revelation flows through me, prophecy, all of that stuff. That stuff that every time I talk to people about it, that's how I know it's kind of weird. Because every time I talk to people about it, it's like they shut it down. No one really wants to hear about it. And I'm not talking about the pot. I'm not talking about you guys. This is everyday life. If someone asks me a question, so
Yeah,
yeah, it can
sister,
get kind
and this is what I just want to say to you because I want to make it clear because it just I've been frustrated and I've been irritated. So I don't want you to think that I feel some type of way about you or anything like that. It's just I everything that you push when it comes to thoughts, it's not like Andre and Atwoods. It's more of like you are in a cult, you suck, go die. And so that's what I'm hearing. Not that you're actually pushing that. It's just that's what I'm
Wait a minute.
hearing.
That's what you're hearing concerning me.
Yes, yes, yes. So
I'm in a
that's what
car. I suck. Go die. That's what you hearing concerning me.
yes, when you push your perspective, I understand that you had a rough situation beforehand, right? But
Brother,
I
you
Andre went to the same place. Andre went to the same place, and I went to the same place. Just because I was younger, don't mean I didn't experience it as well, right? So that's all I'm saying is that we all experienced the same thing, and now there's different perspectives coming out of it, right? So if
right.
we could just simply respect the perspectives, I think that's where we bridge the gaps. But otherwise, it just sounds like it just sounds Muslim-esque to me because
And
it's
that's what
like
you're telling me. I just want to know, is that what you're telling me? Are you speaking hypothetically in the
no
situation?
no
Are you
no no
saying
no
I'm
no no no. So I guess let me flush it out for you. So I'm
yeah.
saying when I hear the thought process, not you exactly, right? But when I hear the thought process of this type of people, of what you're saying, right? These people are gun ho on to destroy Christianity, right? And that's fine. You listen, that's your own prerogative.
Go ahead.
Go
Go ahead.
Good. That's your own prerogative to destroy Christianity, right?
No.
But I'm not saying you are. You asked, am I? I don't know. Am I describing it properly, y'all? Maybe somebody else.
What he's
Somebody else talk for
trying
me.
to
Yeah.
say, what he's trying to convey to you is that, like, through his process, the way that you're wording and stuff, it almost sounds like you're in a cult, is what he's saying.
Okay.
That
That's what
yeah,
I suck. Go
yeah.
die. I suck. Go die. Okay, so that seals the deal for me. You just told me to die. Those are curse words.
No,
You don't
No,
no,
nobody
he
thank
said
you,
say
Andre.
that.
no, he's not talking about you. He said when people come at him with a certain, he's not talking
That I
about you at all.
think, with the way that
Yeah.
I think, right?
No, he's not talking. No, he's not talking about you at all. He's talking about
Yeah, I'm
a
about
group
to
of
say
people
you might
he's
want to
dealt
play
with.
it back at the recording because
Yeah,
that's
he's
not
talk.
what I'm
He,
saying.
he's not talking
I
about you at
don't
all,
know if
Gerald.
you
He's
want to
talking
put it
about
on.
the group of people that he's had to deal with. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
It's the group of
not
people
you personally.
yeah, yeah. It's the group
How
of people that
people
that come up against him when he tries to do this. It's got nothing to do with what you're saying.
Right,
So
right.
he's talking about the attitude that people take toward him for the path that he's on, which was going to lead to my last statement. The fact that I'm gonna take it further than what even both of y'all were saying and bring up the Gnostic Bible, because see, the Gnostic Bible, which a lot of people think was the original, was based on everybody trying to find the Christ consciousness. Things were allegories. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so, and I think in a way we're all trying to do the same thing, but we get caught off on these tangents and we start again, black, white, up, down, yin, yang.
yeah.
Um, and we get
Well,
we get caught off on these tangents and start arguing, and we lose sight of the fact that we're all really just trying to be the Gnostic or the knower, and get a finality to some of these things, so that we can get to the actual truth. We're all just trying to hold on to that truth and get to that truth. But that was all I had to say. I'm landing my plane right there. So
yeah, I mean it's I do believe you that getting to the Christ consciousness, um and that is the ultimate goal. But the whole yin and yang, I mean, with the whole entire universe, it is very much balanced. I mean, look at the yin and yang. You look on the black side of it, there's a white dot in it, because always in darkness there's always light. And you look in the white side of it, there's a black dot. With lightness there's always a shadow. There's always a balance, and I do believe it is up to each one of us to find our balance in our life.
That's
Like
exactly what I just said. And there's also a line in the middle that separates that black from that white in that yin yang symbol. That's that balance that sits in the
yes,
middle, that
yes,
intersects the circle. So yeah.
the
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. Yeah, because that's what I feel like. We talked about a little bit about string theory with me and Atwood, and I feel like that's the little piece of everything that we need to discover. I feel
Yeah,
like
and if we can stay in that realm of
if we
balance
can stay in that
and get
realm,
into that,
we're gonna make strides. But like you
yeah,
said, if we
yeah.
continue to bicker over things that do not revolve around truth, man, I don't even know what we're doing here. I
Because I
think we
agree with
just
See,
all
and
of y'all. I agree with I agree with a lot of the things that Geraldine said. I agree with
yeah.
a lot of things that Atlas said, and I agree with a lot of things that you said, Vaughn.
That
So
that's
mm,
what, and I think
yeah,
it, and if I think if you start to realize those things, that's what the whole podcast is about. I think if you start realizing those things, like what you took away from it, oh yeah, oh yeah, then you're gonna be like, they're not much different than where I'm at. And that's the only way I know how to bridge. Now, even my Christian family don't like how I'm doing it, right? Because they like, man, you're too lenient on these guys, right? And so it's not even leniency. I don't know no other way to understand somebody without hearing them. I'm
no,
sorry.
because like your stereotypical Christian, let's say, like I've watched a lot of Christian testimonies about leaving the Christianity, and they and all just about 90% of them, all of them say one of the main reasons why I left Christianity is because I became very judgy. I was believed to judge people a certain way. Oh, you're going to go to hell if you do that, like, and that was one of the reasons why I didn't, like it, because it changed who I was at my core. I didn't feel right. It didn't
So,
feel
so,
like me. And just like Andre was saying, is the whole purpose is to get back to spirit and get
so
spirit in this physical reality to one, is
let me.
what we
So,
are doing. And
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would just stop you, but I just want to. So, just to bring it all full circle, so I can end it here, guys. It sounds like if someone had gave you true studies of what they knew about the the text, right? That you buy it, right? And so if I could continue to push this narrative of giving truth over how I feel, I think there's a solve there. I don't care that no one thinks it's not there. I think there is. And it's going to be shown by what the Bible says fruits. So it's not going to be converts. It's going to be other people like, oh crap, yeah, I agree with that idea. And that's all that's going
yeah,
to happen. And if
you're
we
the
stop,
you're the waterfall that hits the rocks, and when the rock and it does, you don't see the outcome right away, but those
I'm
rocks
asking
begin
the
to
questions
terraform in
you
a
don't
different
wanna
way
hear.
as the water
You
continues to
keep
hit those
saying I'm
rocks.
not
So you just keep doing what you're doing, and
listening,
you're going to
but I can hear
terraform
you loud and
a whole
clear.
new platform
But
of
I'm gonna
truth, and
ask
that is
you
the goal.
again.
that
Is
was
you
an
got
awesome
the
pun. That was
truth,
an awesome pun.
or just
All
your
right, y'all.
truth?
So yeah, we'll end it
Do
here,
you hear
man.
it in your heart?
Yeah, I mean, if you
See
want to
it
be a
in the
guest,
news, you got the truth,
hit us up,
or
text
just
us,
your
DM
truth?
us. I got a
Just 'cause you
YouTube
feel
page
it
for
doesn't
it.
mean it ain't abuse,
It's
but
under the
I
same
am so
title, Is Your God the Truth? And we'll just keep pushing forward, man, and hopefully we get more people to understand what our purpose is and what we're doing. All right, love you guys, and talk with you guys soon.
I am so
Love you
love
all.
you
Peace
guys
and
too.
love. Yeah,
confused. 'Cause you say it with your chest like you got nothing to lose. We need to seek help, and the only way through is to use a lens that makes it clear to me and you. If you see eye to eye, then the prescription was filled. But if not today, then we can reschedule an appointment to understanding free. We still got the truth.